who have served for this great country of ours, America. So again, this is your national anthem. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That was an extremely respectable parade lap. Probably the largest parade lap I've seen in a while. Got one more parade lapper coming on around with that beautiful American flag. Ooh, don't fall down there by that snowman. All right. As soon as this last rider clears the track, we're going to move on to the balance bike warm-up portion of the program. So again, we're going to let this rider clear, and then we're going to bring these balance bikers out for a little warm-up, and then we'll move right into balance bike racing. All right, riders, listen up. There has been a post and a repost. So there was a repost. So check your motos. Go online, check your motos right now. We'll give you till 7:10. That's only 3 minutes. I'm not going to do 7:15 like I did last time and got yelled at. So we're going 7:10. You had about 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Check out your motos. There was a repost. Make sure everything's right on there. If it's not, run up to registration right now. Thank you. All right, all right. I'm seeing 7:10 on the big clock. That means that we are locking in, loading in these motos and printing sheets. We're going to be right back at you with balance bike racing. Got 3 high flying or 0 flying action motos of balance bikes here today. All right, who's ready for some balance bike racing here today at Rum River BMX? We're going to be starting out with your 4-year-old balance bikes. We've got Zoe, Ellie, and Evelyn. All right, gate drops on these little shredders. We got Zoe Smalls Chamberlain ripping for Black Sheep. She's already got a sponsor here, 4 years old. Got Ellie Smith out of North Branch and Evelyn Locken coming out of Harris. And as they come on out, that's going to be your 7049. That's Evelyn in the first place. There's a Black Sheep jersey, so I'm going to say that's a one-night smile. I'd like to see a smile next time. All right, that's going to be Zoe, followed by Ellie. Moto number 2 here on the track. We've got Maverick, Logan, Isella, Cade, and JC. Or Jace. All right, here we go. This is your 3-year-old balance bikes. We're going to be taking 2 riders straight to that main event. First 2 to cross that finish line. Moving right on to that main event. Right now, that is none other than the little Ripper, that 380. That's going to be Maverick taking 1 spot. Second spot's up for grabs. Looks like right now it's the 350, but we got that 992 coming in. Bam! Big move by the 992. That's that's Swisher coming on in, taking that second spot. All right. 8 riders today in this 1- and 2-year-old balance bike race. Looks like all 2-year-olds today. Got Tatum, McCoy, Vaughn, Riker, Ashton, Lucas, Letty, and Finnick. All right, we're getting all 8 of these little rippers in here. Takes a minute. They need to focus. All right, here we go. 8 riders. That means top 4 this round are going right on to that main event. The other 4 are going to come back on around. In the last moto, we had Maverick and JC Swisher take those transfers. Bam, they're banging in the turn. Here we go. Who's it going to be? We got Tatum, McCoy, Vaughn, Riker, Ashton, Lucas, Letty, and Finnick. Right now, that's your 326 of Letty. Got that 860 in the 2 spot. That's Tatum. We're going to go Letty, Tatum, your 897. And I got to get that plate. 897, that's McCoy taking the 3. Go to the finish line for that 4. That was the 283. That's Finnick taking the 4. So those transfers were Letty, Tatum, McCoy, and Finnick. Moving on into round 2. We got total points in these 4-year-olds. Zoe, Ellie, and Evelyn. All right. If you're new, total points racing is when we only have 3 riders. They go all 3 rounds. We score up each of the 3 rounds. Boom, and they are off. Here we go, folks. This is round number 2. Round number 2 here today in 4-year-old balance bikes at Rum River BMX. Last round it was Evelyn with the snap and the win, followed by Zoe and Ellie. Who's it going to be this time? That is 749 of Evelyn. Should have seen this girl rip out of the gate. All right. Boom. That is going to be Evelyn taking the 1. You got your 984 of Ellie. Going to take that 2, and Zoe's going to get the 3. So those 2 are going to be all tied up going into the main event. Still need to see a smile. All right, Zoe's going to give me a smile next time. All right, here we go. We should have Logan, Isella, and Cade. All right, round number 2 here in 3-year-old balance bike racing. We've got Logan coming out of Zimmerman. We've got Isella coming out of Isanti, and Cade coming at you out of Forest Lake, Minnesota. We're going to score them up based on how they finish. That's going to be their gate picks. Racing for gate picks here in round number 2. Right now, that is your 350 sitting in the 1. That's the young Isella out of Isanti, followed by that 806. That's Cade coming on at you. And your 400 bike of Logan. All right, final qualifying round here. We should have Vaughn, Riker, Ashton, and Lucas. Vaughn, Record, Riker Moore, Ashton Martin, and Lucas Prince. $728, Ashton Martin. We need to see the 728, the 2-year-old balance bike shredder. He's good. He's going to save it for next time. Saving it for Fire and Ice tomorrow. That's what he's doing. All right, he's going to save it for Fire and Ice. We got 3 shredders coming on up and 2-year-olds. All right. Here we go. All right, folks, last gate drop on balance bike qualifying. This is your 2-year-old class. You got Vaughn Record coming out of Andover. You got Riker Moore out of Albertville, and Lucas Prince straight out of Isanti, hometown shredder. As they come on around, we're going to score them up, see how they finish. We're tied up right here, neck and neck, coming into that last straight. Looks like pulling ahead. That's your 829. That's going to be Lucas. Lucas pulling out ahead. Oh, it's that 727 of Vaughn Record. He wants it, though. Who's going to get it? Oh, all right, here we go. Here we go. All right, so that's going to be Lucas, Vaughn, followed by your 276 of Riker. All right, that's going to do it for qualifying here in balance bikes. We're going to move right on into that main event. Got your 4-year-olds in locked and loaded in the gate here. Zoe Smalls and Ellie Smith. They're all tied up. Evelyn locking. Evelyn sitting on a pair of aces with a nice good hole shot again. This little girl shreds, man. Look at those feet go. She's zip coding. That's what we call zip coding. All right, and as they come on around, it is little Evelyn coming out of Harris, Minnesota. She's sitting on a pair of aces. She wants to finish the day with 3 in a row. As they come on around at us, someone sign her up, get her on a team sheet. All right, that's going to be the win for Evelyn. That 2 is going to go to your 197. That's going to be Zoe Smalls for Black Sheep and Ellie Smith. All right, let's cheer these little shredders on. Moving into your 3-year-old. We got Maverick, Logan, Isella, Cade, and JC. All right, we'll get these guys locked, guys and girls, locked and loaded. Right after balance bike racing, we're going to have your riders meeting and move into the pedal bikes. So please head on over to staging. First 20 motos. First 20 motos should be over in staging. We're going to move right into Friday night racing here at Rum River BMX right after these balance bikes. Looks like Randy's got them locked and loaded. All right, here we go, folks. We got a lot on the line here tonight. How they cross will be how they finish. They all qualified to get here. They got their gate picks. They come on around at us, see what kind of strategy they had out of the gate. Right now, I believe that is the 380 of Maverick. That's Maverick Moore coming on at you out of Albertville. As they come on around, taking that win, it's going to be Maverick on that 380. Who's got the 2? Looks like the 992 and the 350 are all locked up. Who's it going to be today? Looks like it's the 992 followed by the 350. That's going to be Swisher followed by Isella. All right, let's hear it for all these little Strider riders. Best part is they all get an icy. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Got 7 2-year-olds here in the gate, folks. A light night of 2-year-old racing. No semis tonight. Focus. Listen to your dad. Focus. It's the biggest race of your life. All right, here we go. Who's it going to be? Letty qualified first round. Is she going to get the win today? We've got Letty, Tatum, McCoy, Finnick, Lucas, Vaughn, and Riker. All right, here we go. The parent cheering section's getting crazy. And that is going to be little Letty Mogensen. Getting it done for mom and dad out of Isani, hometown hero. Who's got that 2? Who's got the 3? Right now it's the 276 and the 829. We're going to go 276, 829. That's going to be Riker. Followed by Lucas, 1, 2, 3. And that's going to be your podium here today in 2-year-old balance bike racing. All right. Thank you so much. We're going to move right into your riders meeting, followed by big track racing action. So please, first 20 motos need to... Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. AC Chartrand getting a little jump out of that one. We'd like to thank you for coming on out to Rum River BMX, the house that BMX built here in the Isani Arena. We got 47 high-flying action, packed motos here for you tonight. We're going to be starting it off with moto number 4, your 6 and under mixed open. We're going to get them up in the gate. It is also the first of the 12 days of Christmas here at Rum River BMX. We do this every year, 12 big days of Christmas coming at you. Tonight is the team scramble. Got a bunch of scrambled up teams here tonight. We're going to score them up and do a podium after. So we're going to get these 6 and under mixed open up. Again, thank you for coming on out to Rum River BMX. Big track racing is up next. right, I got my headset moved into sport mode. Here we go, folks. We got moto number 4 on the track. This is your 6 and under mixed open. We got Carter Freitag, Sawyer Rodell, Levi Mogensen, and Sophia Rodell as they come on around at us. Freitag's getting it done for Factory My Jungle Gym. Got a 5i on the Factory team. Right now out in front, though, that is your 70 bike. That's Sophia Rodell, followed by your State 10. That's Levi Mogensen sitting 1 and 2. 2 riders going on into that main event. Right now, that's going to be Rodell and Mogensen. Got Rodell and Freitag giving chase. And as they come on around at us, who's it going to be? That's going to be Rodell and Mogensen. 9-10 mixed open here, folks. Moto 5. We got Dean, Evan, Enzo, Mason, and Layla. And thanks to that big snowman, I cannot see them. All right, we got 88. Followed by your State 4. Big move inside by the electric Enzo Moss. Moss is moving up into the first spot. As they come on around at us, that's going to be Layla Reichel sitting in the 2. 2 riders to that main event. Woo! That's close, but we got Reichel and Moss taking those transfers. 11-12 mixed open. We got Ray, Blinker, Steffenhagen, Moss, Thicky, and Lanigan. Right now, that is Ray out front, followed by the Dilly Bar. I believe that is Ray. No, that's not Ray. I believe that's Lanigan. There we go. That's your 15 bike. That's Lanigan. And the Dilly Bar taking those transfers. Level Up Riders. Oh, we had 3 transfers. Who's the third one? Third transfer? .52 taking that third transfer. That was Thunderstruck, Steffenhagen. All right. Moto number 7 here, folks. 15-16 mixed. We got Wolf, Kriegler, Krasek, Mellinson, and Henry. That's your 5, followed by your 69. That's your 69 of Mellinson in the 2 spot. As they come on back at us, let's get that plate figured out here. I'm seeing a 5. Yep, that's Angie Henry, but not a Gold Cup 2. Audrey Wolf did not hit the gate, but that was Henry and Mellinson. Here we go, 7-8 open. We got Ortiz, Toledo, Elvin, and Peterson. This is 7-8 open, moving into your expert opens here, folks. We got El Papi getting her done for Black Widow. Right now out front, that is none other than El Papi, followed by the Gold Cup 3 of Nono Boo Elvin. Nono Boo just turned expert, sitting in that 2 right now. 1 and 2 going on into that main event. Looks like that's going to be El Papi, followed by Nono Boo. 9-10 open on the track. Moto number 9 here, folks. We got Stopka, Farley, Mullins, and Blessy. As they come on at us, that's your 9 bike, followed by your 7. That's going to be Mullins, followed by the Slingshot Stopka. I see Blessy in 3. So as they come on around, looks like taking those transfers right now is going to be Mullins and Stopka. 13-14 opens, 7 opens here today, folks. Tomorrow for our Fire and Ice, it is Money Opens. So let's see if we can get a bunch of opens tomorrow. All podium spots pay out tomorrow in our Money Opens. In this 13-14 open, we got Molitor, Manuel, Anderson, Swanson, Miska, and Brotzel. Right now, that's your 8, followed by your 15. That's Preston Swanson, followed by the Papa Smurf, Brotzel. We are taking 3, so right now it looks like it's going to be Swanson, Brotzel. That 3rd spot's up for grabs. That's going to be your 29 bike. That's going to be the little man Molitor taking that 3rd spot. All right, total. Oh, jumping ahead. Jumping ahead of 13-14 Girl Cruiser. Yep, we got a little roulette going on, so we're going to move into 36-40s. We got Zamora, Blessy, Lee, Gethridge, Miller, Ingberg, and Farley. That's Farley out front right now. Factory Carbone getting it done out front. That's Kim Possible. We are taking 3. I believe that's Ingberg in the 2. That's Kim Possible taking that 1. It's a 1 of Ingberg with the 2. That 3rd spot's going to be your 8 bike. That's your 8 of Chatty Cathy Lee. All right, I think we're going to be jumping right on back into that 13-14 girl cruiser, Moto 11. We got the Queen of Hearts, Ducky, and Biggie. Right now, that is your Gold Cup 1, followed by your 754. So right now, we got Biggie Chamberlain sitting out in the 1 spot. We get the Queen of Hearts in the 2. Getting it done for Fusion. Your Black Sheep Rider is out front. Got Fusion in the 2. And your Factory Carbone in the 3. That's Farley. All right, that's how they're going to finish. Here we go. Moto 13, 9 cruisers. That's your 4, your 1, and your 529. That is no other than Easy ES Kelowna, followed by the Style Check and Mr. Ray Ray. So as they come on back at us, see if they can make it stick. That is going to be your 4 of Escalona, followed by Peterson and Mr. Ray. 10 cruisers here. We got Zinc, the Wildman, and Apex. That's going to be that NAG 5 plate sitting out front. That is Reed, the Wildman, Vanderhagen. He's got Zink and Bauman giving chase here, folks. Total points racing. That looks like that's your Ameriprise full tilt rider out front. That's going to be Vanderhagen, followed by the 6. And your 455, that's going to be Zink and Bauman. 15 cruisers here, getting older, getting faster. We got your 6, your 1, and your 1. All right, let's have some correct plate numbers. That helps your announcer. That is going to be Bowman out front in that 1 spot. Woo! That's going to be Lockinen in the 2 and Hoff in the 3. All right, 3640 cruisers. We got Norberg, Kennedy, Steffenhagen, and Mick Vicker. That's none other than the high-flying Atomic Adam Kennedy for FXR Dance Comp sitting in the 1. He's got that Fusion Shredder. Norberg in the 2. Your 3 and 4 is going to be Steffenhagen and McVicker. They're battling it out. As they come on at us, it's going to be Kennedy taking 1 spot and Norberg picking up that 2nd one. All right, moving into the novice class here, folks. Got 6 riders today and 5 and under novice. 3 moving on to that main event. We got Whalen, Sawyer, Ezekiel, Lennon, Thatcher, and Mackey. These little rippers have been training hard here in Rum River BMX through that beginner league. As they come on around at us. Got that 236 and your 078. That's Sawyer Rodell and Waylon Locken battling out 1 and 2. There are 3 spots up for grabs. Who's going to get that 3rd one? It's little Rodell getting it done out front for mom and dad. Got your 078 of Locken, but who's got that 3? Looks like it's your 309. Nope. I got a rider down. We're going to check them out. I'm going to go to the finish line for that photo finish. Who did we have in 3? We're going to get these little rippers checked out. 5 novies. We're going to get you that 3rd spot also. Photo finish at the line here. We're going to double check that one for you. Get these little rippers checked out. The only class that crashes more than the 5 novice is the old intermediates. All right, let's hear it for these guys getting up, guys and girls. There we go. BMX Tough. All right, they might be crying at the finish, but they're having fun. They're having fun. Those are tears of joy. If you were in Moto 17, 5 and under novice, listen up here in a second. We're going to give you that 3rd place finish. We're going to check it, check the film. All right, here we go, 6 novice. We got Trejo, Beard, Prince, and Schlitgen. Taking 2 onto that main event. We got a Gold Cup shredder in here, some state shredders. That is your State 6 bike. That is State 6, not on my list. All right, as they come on back at us. We're going to check this rider. State 6 is not on my list. Followed by your 341. Oh, here we go. We jumped ahead to 7 novice. That was Saxberg and Gabe Shore. Excuse me. All right. All right, here we go. 804 in the one spot. That is McDonough. We're on 10 novice here, Moto 20. We got McDonough sitting out 1, taking 3 into that main event here at Rum River BMX. Coming through that last turn as they come on at us. That is going to be your 804 of the wrecker, followed by your 238 and your 33. 238 and your 33. That's going to be Ellis and Prindota taking those transfers. All right, here we go. Moto 21, 11 novice. We got Blinker Snyder. That's your 864. That is the Charger Blinker sitting in the 1 spot. We got Snyder and Ashbury giving chase. They come on around through that last turn. Looks like with a good lead there, that is going to be none other than to the Charger with the 1. You got your 835, a Snyder with the 2, and Ashbury with your 3. All right, the 416 bikes out to a nice lead in Moto 22. That is going to be Mason Wolf sitting in that 1. 4 riders into that main event. Right now it's going to be Wolf sitting on the 1. This kid's been ripping, airing it up. It's also going to be your 776, your 750, and your 876. All right. 13 novies on the track. We got Bolton, Emily, Olson, and Evans. All right, we got your 530 out in the 1. We got your 767 of Evans in the 2. So right now that's Zach Olson getting it done for Dynasty BMX, followed by Kimber Evans in that 2 spot. 2 going on into that main event out of 13 novice here today, folks. All right, let's cheer them on. That's going to be Olson and Evans taking those transfers. 14 novies on the track. We got Erickson, Shore, Ham, and Steffens. All right, who's that going to be out front? That's going to be your 382. 382 bike, that is Wyatt Erickson, getting it done for Badco Racing out of St. Francis. We got a rider down. Got a rider down in the 3rd straight. We're going to get them checked out. So as they come on at us, it's going to be Erickson with the 1. And your 880 bike, your 880 of Evan Steffens, taking that 2. All right. Heads up, riders. 26-35 novies. We got Wolverton, Chives, Zandolf, Sneak Attack, and Siegfried. Here they come on back at us. That's going to be your 838 and your State 8. That's going to be the Sneak Attack and Joel Wolverton taking those transfers. All right, we're going to get this rider checked out. All right, they're back on their feet, shaking the gloves out. All right, let's hear it. There we go. All right, let's hear it. All right, 36-40, Navi's on the track. We got Fast Gramps some more. We got Matthew Olson and Chelsea Chatty Cathy Lee coming on at you in this total points battle. Fast Gramps is doing it in memory of Sophie Pollard. And right now out front, that is 793. That's Matthew Olson, followed by Fast Gramps and your bent rim rider of Lee in that 3 spot. All right, here we go. Gramps is giving a chase. All right, it is going to go Olson, Zamore, Lee. Here we go. Moving into intermediate racing, we got Peterson, Simmons, and Freetag. Looks like Freetag's out front, got that inside line. Going to make it stick here on the inside of this first turn. That is Carter Freetag getting it done out front for Factory My Jungle Gym out of Isani, Minnesota. Got Simmons and Peterson giving chase. Oh, big move there by that Gold Cup 2 of Willow. Willow moving into that 1 spot. Freetag in the 2, Peterson in the 3. That's why she's got that Gold Cup 2 plate, I guess. Oh, Freetag now on the inside. Who's it going to be? We got a drag race here, folks, down to that finish line. Oh, my goodness. That is going to be your Gold Cup 2. That is going to be Simmons, Freitag, Peterson. Good race. Best race of the day. All right, here we go. 6 eyes. Right now, that's your 60 and your 921 sitting 1 and 2. That is your 60 bike of Carnahan in that one spot. Looks like a bent rim rodder in that 2. So right now, as they come on at us, it's going to be your 60, your 921 taking those transfers. Eight eyes on the track here, folks. We got Bauman, McGowan, Chives, and that 170 of Ford, all over Ford in the 1. We're taking 3 riders. Also got Bartheld and Moss. Looks like Moss is in that 3, I believe. Who's in the 2? Taking 3. It's going to be your 170, your 747, and your State 4. That's going to be James in the 2, and your State 4 of Moss taking the 3. 9 eyes on the track here. Moto 30, everyone should be in staging. That is going to be your 496 and your 10. Sitting 1 and 2. That is going to be Mr. E. Acapina in the 1. He's got Peyton Chute in the 2. And Joey Wolverton in that 3. As they come on around in total points racing. Through that last straightaway, that is going to be how they cross. It's going to be Acapina, Chute, and Wolverton. 12 eyes on the track, 3 riders again. That is none other than the Dilly Bar out front, followed by the 69 and your 52. That is going to be Pat Node and your 52. That is Steffenhagen sitting in the 3. So right now we got the Dilly Bar out front. Getting her done, looking good. Got the Dilly Bar, your 69 and your 52, taking those transfers. 13 eyes on the track, Moto 32 here today, folks, at Rum River BMX. We got the Mad Cat, we got the Bolt, and we got Cook. That is 87 of Cook sitting out in that 1 spot. Got that 397 of Xander Bolt Moss, one of the Moss Bros, 3 Moss Bros here. So that's going to be Cook, Moss, and the Mad Cat sitting 1, 2, and 3. And that's how they're going to finish this round. All right, 3640 eyes. Got Norberg, Wright, Mellinson, and Austin. That's your Chicago out-of-towner. That's none other than Christopher Wright getting it done for Dirt Addiction out front. He's got Norberg in the 2, Mellinson in that 3, followed by Austin. As they come on around at us, we like to see these out-of-town riders. That's going to be Wright taking 1 spot, and Norberg's going to pick up that 2nd transfer. All right. 4650 intermediate. We got Gelberg, McVicker, and Oberg. I should have known. I heard hooting and hollering in the gate. That's Oberg there, having fun out there. So right now we got Oberg, Gelberg, McVicker coming on around in this 4650 class. So taking that first spot, that's going to be Oberg for Dynasty. You've got Gelberg for your BMX Bandits in that 2, and McVicker for Nowhere BMX in the 3. All right, here we go. Moving into girls expert racing. Looks like that is Orrin out front. She had a crash last week. She's back shredding, taking names and taking wins. So that's going to be Skylar Orrin, your factory full tilt rider sitting in the 1. She's got Farley and Chamberlain giving chase. So right now that's going to be Skylar Orrin getting her done out front. You got your Gold Cup 2 of Chamberlain in the 2, and you got Ducky Farley taking that 3. 11 girls expert, 4 riders, 2 to that main event. We got Brotzel, Ford, Ray, and Reichel. All right, here we go. As they come on at us, that's your 47 bike. That is Annalise Ray getting it done for Level Up. Got a couple of Fusion riders sitting in the 2 and 3. 2 spots to go right into that main. That's going to be Ray getting it done. Out front, who's got that 2? Looks like that's going to be your 851. That is going to be the Tough Cookie Ford taking that 2nd spot. All right. Got about 11 motos left here, folks. All right, that is little JT out front. I don't even need to look at my sheet. In 13 girl experts, we got little JT getting it done out there for factory box components. This 13 girl expert, she's going to take one of those spots. That is going to be your Gold Cup 2, a little Red Macaulay, your Ameriprise full tilt rider, taking that 2nd spot. 15, 16 girls. We got Neelan, Elin, Henry, and Wolf coming on at us. That is none other than Kendall Elin, followed by Henry. That is. We got Elin in the 1, Henry in the 2. Kennedy's back from a crash. She's kind of chilling. Otherwise, she'd be out front, would be my guess. So that is going to go Elin and Henry, 1 and 2. Henry's running the wrong plate, by the way, if you're wondering. All right, here we go. 1720 women expert. We got Farley, Bolin, Leach, and Colby. That is none other than Bolin out front in that one spot. I see that is Colby in the 3. Who's got that 2? Is that Kimberly? That is Chloe Leach. All right, then we're going to go Bolin, Leach. 1, 2. All right, Moto 40 here, folks. Turn my page. Turn the page. All right. Expert riders, expert boys in 7X right now. That looks like that is none other than Jack Simmons out front, getting it done for Embrace Orthodontics. Little shredder on that Gold Cup 1. That is Jack with the 1. You got your 24 bike taking that second spot. That is Melanson, followed by Peterson and Toledo. All right, 9Xs. We got Stopka, Alvin, Ray, Swanson. Woo! That's your 20 and your 7. 20 and your state 7. That is none other than the Style Check Odin Peterson for BMX Bandits, followed by your Dynasty Shredder Stopka. Got one, oh, just 2 spots. All right. Oh, we got it. Yeah, this is going to be a combined. So, yeah, we're going to go with Peterson and Stopka taking those transfers. All right, second rack of 9 experts. 2 spots up for grabs. That's your 7 and your 9 bike. That is going to be Escalona and Mullins. Escalona Mullins sitting 1 and 2. 2 into that main event. It's a big group here. We got 12 riders here, folks. So that is going to be how they cross. Your 7 and your 9 taking your transfers. All right, 10Xs here. We got Vanderheyden, Zink, Bauman, Brutzman, and Siegfried. Out front, none other than the Nag 18 bike. That is the Wildman Vanderhagen. Getting it done out front from Ameriprise Full Tilt. Got another Ameriprise Full Tilt sitting in that 2. That's probably that Nag 19, and it is of his homie. That's the Savage in that 2 spot. So we are going to go with the Wildman and the Savage, per usual, taking those transfers. 12Xs here, folks. We got Manuel, Hertz, Simmons, Anderson, and Hoff. Right now out front, that is none other than Corbin Hertz getting it done for FXR Dance Comp, making it look good, making it look smooth. He's going to take 1 spot. Coming through that last straight. Who's got that second one? That is going to be your 3 bike. That is going to be the T-Train Hoff taking that second spot. 13Xs here, folks. You got just a few motos left. The first round. Second round should be in staging. First 20 motos. Airing it up. That is none other than Jacob Tyson getting it done. He's got that Black Widow rider in that 2 spot. We are taking 3, so as they come on at us, that's your National 78. Tyson got that 17. And your 29 taking those transfers. That's Molitor. All right, 14Xs here, folks. This be 15, though. They're combined up. So right now we got Ford, Miska, Lockinen, Bowman, and Tyson. As they come on at us, it's the birthday boy, Jacob Tyson, sitting in that 1. He's got that 80 bike. That's none other than the Cam Nato Ford. Getting it done in that 2. So we got Tyson, Cam Nato sitting 1 and 2. 2 spots up for grabs. Woo! And that's how it's going to go. All right, 1720Xs. We got Kennedy, Boker, Miller, and Brotzel. Right now out front, that is Adam Atomic Kennedy, your FXR Dan Comp Shredder, airing it up for you. In that 2, he's got none other than your Nat 89. That's Taya Boker running up with the boys here. Let's hear it for Taya, getting it done for Factory S Squared. So right now we got Kennedy, Boker sitting 1 and 2. And that's how they'll finish moving into that main event. All right, round 2 should be in staging. First 20 motos. Tonight we're going to get them locked and loaded. Going on back to moto number 4. So going back to that 5 and under novice class, we had Rodell, Locken, and Reichel taking those transfers. That's coming up at Moto 17. Right now we got Moto number 4, your 6 and under mixed open. We should have Freitag and Rodell getting up in that gate. All right, all right. All right, here we go. We got Freitag and Rodell coming on at you. Round number 2 here racing at Rum River BMX on the first of our 12 days of Christmas. And that is Carter Freitag sitting out in that front spot, looking for third gate pick. And you got Sawyer Rodell in the 2. So as they come on around at us, we got Freitag, Rodell sitting 1 and 2. Freitag's getting it done for Factory My Jungle, Jim, and Rodell for Mom and Dad. As they come on through that last straightaway here at Rum River, looks like that is going to be Freitag, Rodell. 9-10 mixed open. We got I'm not even going to guess that one. We got Dean, Evian, and Mason coming on at you. Looks like that is your bent rim rider out front, Mason McGowan, coming on at you. We've got Mr. E. So that is going to be your 254 McGowan, followed by your 33 of Dean, and your 496. That is going to be Mr. E. All right, 47 out front. I know that's Ray. That is Annalise Ray for Level Up, sitting right now in that 1 spot. We've got the Charger and Zeke Lightning giving chase. That's Zeke Lightning in the 2. So as they come on around at us, your 47 Array, followed by your State 4 of Moss. Going 1-2, that 3rd spot. That's going to be the Charger, 864. All right, here we go, here we go. Open racing here at Rum River BMX. Right now we got your State 9 of the Mad Cat sitting out front. We also got Audrey Wolf and the Queen of Hearts. Looks like one rider not making it here. So that is going to be your state plate, your State 9, and your 754. That's going to be the Mad Cat and the Queen of Hearts. All right, here we go. Moto number 8 here, folks. Everyone should be over in staging. All right, here we go. 7-8 open here. We got Toledo and Peterson coming on around at us. Peterson's getting it done for the BMX Bandits. Looks like maybe only Peterson making the call here. As they come on around, still going to be shredding. That is your 50 bike of Lars Peterson for the BMX Bandits. Going to take that boat ride into the main event. 9-10 open on the track here. Moto number 9, we got Farley and Blessy. That is the Smoke Blessy out front. Maddox sitting on that State 1 plate for Black Sheep. Got that fusion rider of Caleb Bubba Farley in the 2. Good to see Farley out here right now. We got Blessy Farley. Bubba's going to try to catch up with Blessy there. He's going hard as they come on around at us. Right now we got Blessy Farley sitting 1-2, 1-2. That is going to be your State 1 of Blessy, followed by Farley. All right, 13-14 open here, folks. We got Manuel Anderson and Miska. Out front, that is your 64 bike, followed by your 6. So that is going to be Andrew Manuel for the crew, followed by the Roadrunner Anderson in that 2nd spot. So we are going to go with Manuel for the crew, followed by the Roadrunner, your Crank Lab rider. All right, here we go. Total points racing here, folks. 13-14 cruiser. We got Chamberlain, Farley, and the Queen of Hearts. Oh, but we're jumping ahead. 3640. The Queen of Hearts just came off the track and open. So we're going to jump up to that 3640 class. We got Zamora, Blessy, Gathridge, and Miller as they come on back at us. That's going to be your 443 bike. That is going to be Blessy, followed by your 2 of Gathridge, Miller, and your 614 of Zamora. Now we're stepping on back to those 13, 14 girls. Whoa, we got a rider down. We're going to check her out. We're going to check that rider out in the second turn here. So we got the Queen of Hearts, Ducky and Biggie, coming on back at us. That's going to be your Gold Cup 1 of Chamberlain, followed by Farley. We're going to get Aria checked out here. She's back up on her bike. Let's hear it for the Queen of Hearts for Fusion. All right, she's going to finish on out. She'll be all tied up there with Farley coming into that main event. All right. Yeah, let's hear it for her. She went down hard in that turn, slid out. Bam. All right, here we go. 9 cruisers moving into your big wheel boys. We got Mellinson, Kolke, and Ingberg. All right, Factory Bombshell in the house out of Connecticut. That is going to be your Gold Cup 3 of Matthias coming on at you for Factory Bombshell out of Southbury, Connecticut. Another out-of-towner, a way out-of-towner. So right now, that's going to be Kolke taking that 1. That 2 is going to be going to your 20 bike. That is Enberg, followed by your 10 bike of Mellinson. 10 cruisers on the track here, folks. We got the Wild Man. Boom, and it is the Wild Man out front again on that Nag 5 bike for Ameriprise full tilt. He's got Zink and the Apex Bauman in the sitting 2 and 3. Oh, we got a battle here for 2. We're going to go Wild Man. Who's got that 2? That's going to be your 6 bike. That is going to be Zink and Bauman. 15 cruisers on the track. We got Bowman, Hoff, and Lockinen. Right now, that is your 1 bike out front, which I believe is Lockinen. Yep, it is. Fix that. Bam. Lockinen out front right now. He's got Bowman giving chase. Those guys are going to be all tied up for that main event. All right, we're going to go Lockinen, Bowman, and Hoff. All right, moving into 3640 cruisers here, folks. Qualifying racing. We got Steffenhagen and McVicker coming on at you. Right now, that's McVicker on the inside on that 4 bike with the Mohawk. He's getting her done. Steffenhagen's got that pink jersey on for Dynasty. So right now, we got Nowhere sitting 1, Dynasty sitting 2. Let's see how we're going to finish here, folks. This could be a close battle. All right. Who's going to cross first? Oh, it's going to be Steffenhagen. Steffenhagen, followed by McVicker. All right, 5 and under novice here, folks. We got the Tank. We got Mogensen and Johnson. 3 little shredders. We had a little digger in this one last time. Who's it going to be this time? That's your 309. That's Mogensen sitting in that 1 spot. Got the Tank and Johnson giving chase. That's your 389 of Thatcher Johnson. Sitting in that 2 spot, Ezekiel the Tank sitting in that 3. Let's cheer these little 5 novies on. Want to get them all the way around the track. There we go. So we're going to go with Mogensen. Come on, Johnson. Come on, the Tank. Straight ahead, Tank. No looking around. Straight ahead, Tank. All right, here we go. That's how they'll finish. Mogensen, Johnson, and the Tank. All right, 6 novies. We got Beard and Prince. Right now, that's your 740 out front. That is none other than Owen Prince. Got the Not Stopping Nora Beard sitting in that 2 spot for Black Sheep. Got the ears on the helmet as they come on around. Owen Prince out of Isani, Minnesota, getting it done for Mom and Dad, sitting in that 1. We got Not Stopping, though, coming on, giving chase. All right, that's how we're going to finish. We're going to go Prince Beard, 1-2. And your 6 novice. 7 novice on the track. Moto number 19, we got Wolverton and the X-Man Leaf coming on around at us. That is going to be your 536 right now. Your 536, a Wolverton sitting 1. We've got Leaf and Leaf. We got the X-Man Leaf and Rippin' Leaf. All right, let's see how they finish here, folks. Woo! All right, stay on top of that. All right, your 854 followed by your 536. So that's going to be X-Man followed by Wolverton and Rosie Rippin' Leaf. All right, let's hear it for these little rippers. All right, 10 Navis on the track. We got Record, Kenoyer Shives, and Bolton. That's going to be your 533 bike taking the 1. That's Caden Bolton, followed by your 749 of Naomi and your 726 of Evelyn. 11 Novice on the track, Moto 21 right now. You got your 864 and your 835. 864, that is the Joseph Charger Blanker coming at you out of Elk River, sitting in the 1. Joseph's got Lane Snyder sitting in that 2, and Xavier Asbury sitting in the 3. As they come on at us, it's going to be your 864. That's going to be the Charger, followed by Snyder and Asbury. All right, 12 Navis on the track, 874 right now with a nice lead. Your 874 bike, that is Abel Anderson Cadwell, coming on at you out of Bram, Minnesota. Coming through that last turn, full tilt turn. Again, full tilt. Only in the house tonight. They're packing up for Grands. They're heading down to Grands tomorrow. 944 is going to get that 2, and your State 7 on the 3, followed by your 299. All right, here we go. 13 Novice. You got your 527 and your 534. That's going to be Rowdy Ricky sitting in that 1. You got Lucas Bolton sitting in that 2. Coming on around at you. Rowdy Ricky's getting it done for Badco Racing. Bolton's getting it done for Luke's Legendary Deals. 14 Navis on the track here, folks. We got Shore and Ham. That is 866, but your 975 with a nice inside move. That's Memphis Shore out of Cedar, Minnesota. Let's see if Hunter Ham can give it on back in this last turn. Could have a drag race here, folks, as they come on at us. That is going to be your 975. Of Memphis with the 1, Ham with the 2. Whoop. All right, 2635 Navis. Got your 899, your 276. 899, that's Zandolph sitting in that 1. Followed by James and Mariah. All right, Zandolph the Great, Leaf Senior, sponsored by this guy. And your 276 going 1 and 2, James. Let's hear it in that 3, airing it up. That's Mariah Siegfried. All right, here we go. Getting a little air is your 793. That is going to be Matthew Olson coming on at you. 41 Novice out of St. Francis. Got some skills, airing up over that table as they come on at us. That is going to be Olson, followed by your 343. That's Fast Gramps Zamore and Chatty Cathy Lee, the loudest cheering section. All right. Intermediate racing here, 5 and under inners, folks. Got 3 5-year-olds. We got Willow, Carter, and Emmy. That is none other than your Gold Cup 2. A Willow sitting in the 1. Got Carter in the 2 and Emmy in the 3. Willow's racing for Embrace Orthodontics. You got your Factory My Jungle Gym sitting 2. BMX Bandits Racer in the 3. Oh, Carter making a move. Big move by Free J. Oh, he gets loose. Who's it going to be? Woo! That is Gold Cup 2. Gold Cup 2, Willow. All right, good race, folks. All right. Woo! Checking your announcer here. Looks like we got Mogensen, Shives, and Rodell. That's Sophia Rodell sitting out front right now. Buzzing the tower here. All right, Rodell has got Mogensen and Kenoyer and giving chase. So that's going to be Rodell, followed by your 748 and your 10 bike, State 10. 8 eyes on the track, your 254 and your 161 sitting 1 and 2. Looks like right now out front that is Mason McGowan, your bent rim rider. Wants to take that 1 in this second round. That is going to be McGowan. And as they come on back at us, 167. That's Barthel taking that 2. All right, all those riders transferring on to your main event. 9 eyes on the track here, folks. Got your 496 and your state 10 sitting 1 and 2. That's Mr. E. Acapina getting her done for Dingmans. Terry Dingman. Awesome dude. All right, your Dingman rider, Mr. E. Acapina's out front right now. Got Peyton in that 2 spot. And your 197, that's going to be Joey Wolverton taking your 3. All right, 12 eyes here, folks. We got Moss, and that is Moss sitting out front. That's Zeke Lightning Moss getting it done for Crank Lab sitting out front. Got Oberg and Cool Hand Luke sitting 2 and 3. So right now we got Moss in the 1. That 2 is going to be your 650 bike. That's going to be the Cool Hand Luke. And your 98 of Oberg. All right, 87 with a nice lead here in moto number 32. That is Cook sitting in that 1. This kid's a up-and-coming shredder, I'll tell you right now, in 13I. So right now we got Cook, followed by Moss. We're going to go Cook, Moss, and the Mad Cat. All right, moto 33 here, folks, 3640 eyes. We got Mellinson and Austin. That is Mellinson in the 1, Austin in that 2 spot. Getting it done. Mellinson riding for Pack BMX. Austin wearing that box jersey. As they come on around at us, we're going to go Mellinson, Austin. All right, 4650 cruiser, or intermediate, There's Oberg. We got Oberg, Gelberg, and Mick Vicker coming on around at us. Oberg's trying to be sitting on that pair of aces, and looks like he's going to get it done for Dynasty BMX here today. Keep her smooth, Oberg. That's going to be a pair of aces for Oberg. That's going to be your 105 of Krabby Bill Gelberg with the 2, and Mick Vicker with your 3. All right, here we go. 8 girl experts on the track. Girls expert racing. That is Skylar Orn, your factory full tilt rider sitting in that 1 spot. She's got that Black Sheep shredder in the 2. That's Lila Biggie Chamberlain sitting in that 2. And you got your factory Carbone Cartel. You got your 7-year-old girl racing up with these older girls. That's none other than Ducky Farley. She's going to take that 3. All right, 11 girls experts on the track. We got Bratzel and Reichel. As they come on as that is going to be your Gold Cup 2 of Emma Bratzel. Sitting in that 1. She's got Layla Reichel coming at you for Fusion. A couple Fusion riders. Going 1 and 2 here today, folks. That's going to be Bratzel and Reichel. All right. 13 girls. We've got Lanigan and Vanderhayden. Looks like that is going to be your Ameriprise full tilt rider of Reese Vanderhayden, just turning 13. Moving into this 13 girl class. She's got Avery Lanigan coming on at you for level up. 12-year-old girl racing up with these 13-year-olds. As they come on around, we're going to go Vanderhayden, Lanigan. 15, 16 girls, we got Nealon and Wolf coming on around at us. Nealon's just hot off an injury, so she's kind of chilling. Got Wolf sitting in that 1. Nealon sitting in that 2. Nealon's getting some laps in, getting ready for grands here coming on up. So that's going to be your Dynasty rider, followed by Nealon getting it done for Ameriprise. All right, 15, 16 girls, they're in the books. We got 17, 20 women experts. We've got Farley and Colby. Right now, that is Colby sitting out front on that Gold Cup 2. That is Haley the Hoff Colby getting it done for FXR Dan's Comp. She's got that factory Carbone rider in the 2. That is Kim Possible Farley on the NAG 11. So right now, we are going to go Colby and Farley. All right. That's going to do it for girls racing. We're going to go into 7 experts here. We got Peterson and Toledo battling out for those last 2 spots in 7X. That is going to be your 686 bite. That is, I'm not even going to try. Dario Soho Toledo. I guess I did try. So that's Toledo sitting in that 1, coming at you out of Minneapolis. And we got Peterson sitting in that 2. Looks like it is going to be Toledo, followed by Peterson. 9X's here, folks. Moto 41. Just a handful left of motos here. That is your 62 bike out front. Looking good. That's Philip, Mr. Ray Ray. He's sitting in that 1 spot, airing it up. Love to see it. All right, Mr. Ray getting her done in this 9 expert class. We are taking 2 to the main event. That's going to be your 10 bike, followed by the 10. That is going to be Kulke coming at you out of Connecticut. All right, 2 more experts, 2 more 9 experts going in. That's going to be your 3 bike and your 11 right now. That is going to be El Papi and Ingberg sitting 1 and 2. Again, we got 2 racks of 9 X's here today, folks. All right, who's it going to be? It looks like it is going to be El Papi and your 11 bike of Ingberg taking those spots. All right, that's going to be a good main event there. 9X, 10X on the track. We got Zink, Bauman, and Siegfried right now out front. That is your 12 bike, followed by your 66. That is Colton Zink, followed by the 66 of the Apex Bauman. And you got your 10I Blade Siegfried. 10I moving up in with these experts. Did not have a group today, so let's hear it for Blade getting it done with these experts today. All right, that's how they'll finish. Zink, Bauman, and Siegfried. All right, in 12X here, folks, right now, your 18 bike, that is Henry Simmons sitting out 1 for Embrace Orthodontics. Another fast family here. As they come on around at us, it's going to be Simmons with that 1. Got your Crank Lab rider. That's your 6 bike. That's going to be the Roadrunner taking the 2 and Manuel taking the 3. 13Xs. We got Manuel, Etner, and Swanson. That is Swanson out front with a nice lead. That's going to be Preston Swanson getting it done for Dynasty BMX out front. He's going to have Manuel and Etner battling out for the 2 and 3 spot as they come on at us. It looks like that's going to be your 102 with a big push. That's going to be Jack with the 2. Crosby with your 3. All right, here we go, here we go. Couple more motos. That's going to be your 7 bike of Jordan Bowman out front right now for Level Up Racing. He's looking good. He's got locking and giving chase on that 4 bike. Looks like Go Fast Miska decided to sit that one out. Bam. 1720X is here, folks. Last rack of qualifying. That's looking like that is going to be Jack Miller out front, followed by Papa Smurf Brotzel. Looks like your Black Sheep rider out front. See if Papa Smurf can make it stick inside on that last turn, last straight. But it's going to be the young buck today. That's going to be Miller and Brotzel. All right, that will do it for qualifying racing here, folks. We have no semis today. So we... All right, listen up. We've got a few giveaways here today. We've got some free nachos for Adam Kennedy, 22 expert, FXR rider. Adam Kennedy got some free nachos. We've got a free slushie for Ember the Wrecker McDonough, 10 novice out of Spring Lake Park, getting it done for the whole family. Farley's going to eat Adam Kennedy's nachos. All right, we got a free ice cream treat. This is for Henry Simmons. Got Henry Simmons, your 11 expert. All right, so we got a free ice cream coming for Henry Simmons, and we got a slushie for Ember the Wrecker. So head on up.
Oh, look, hey, look, here he comes.
Tamara's going to have them here for you. All right.
Adam Kennedy, expert.
All right. We do have 2 move-ups here today. All right. We've got Leighton Ford moving up to girl. And we got Lars Peterson moving into expert. All right, we're going to head up on this last tabletop here. So we got Ford and Peterson moving up into the big ranks. Expert. All right, there we go, there we go. Whoa. There we go. All right, let's hear it for these shredders, Peterson and Ford. Moving on up to expert class. All right, they're racing expert today. Wave for the cameras. There you go. All right, good job, good job. We're going to put some music back up. We're going to let these 12 expert and older riders on that first couple straights here. Jeremy's going to put some music on. Jeremy's going to put some music on. Jeremy's going to put some music on. Music. Just regular music. Just fun music. Thank you, Jeremy. All right. We'll be back at you here shortly with your main events. Yeah. Thanks for coming on out to Rum River BMX. It's a beautiful night in Isani, Minnesota, in the house that BMX built, the Isani Indoor Arena. Hurts. Getting a little cray-cray there over that step table. We're going to have these older experts clear the track. We're going to podium for that right after racing. So please turn those team sheets in as soon as possible after racing. Get those into registration. We're going to score them up quick, and we will have a podium for the team scramble. And I do have to admit, I have heard that song about 10,000 times, and it still works every time. I don't know. It must be good. All right, here we go, folks. We're going to start dropping gates here on your main event. We got moto number 4. We got Rodell, Mogensen, Free Tag, and Rodell. All right, gate drops on your main events here at Rum River BMX on this beautiful Friday night in Isani, Minnesota. Sophia Rodell qualified first. Looks like she's out front right now, also getting it done for mom and dad out of Isani, Minnesota. Got Levi Mogensen, Free Tag, and the younger Sawyer Rodell giving chase. And as they come on at us, that is going to be Rodell and your State 10 bike of Levi Mogensen sitting 1 and 2. Free Tag is in that 3. Getting it done for Factory Mod Jungle Gym. Off the track training here in Isani. Check it out. So as they come on around, it is going to be Rodell, Mogensen, and Free Tag. All right, moto number 5, 9-10 mixed open. We got Reichel, Moss, McGowan, Prindota, and Acapina. Right now, that is going to be your bent rim rider out front. That's going to be McGowan. Looks like Dingman's is in the 2, so these guys are all mashing it up. All right, as they come on around at us, that is going to be your 254, McGowan. followed by your Dingman's rider and your State 4 of Moss. All right, Acapino with the 2, Mr. E. All right, 11-12 mixed open. 15 rider, airing it up, making it look good. Love to see it. That's Avery Lanigan, your level up rider, sitting in that 1 spot. She's got the Dilly bar. Dylan getting it done on that Gold Cup 3, sitting in that 2. Right now we got Lanigan, Dilly bar, 1 and 2 coming on at you. Looks like your 52 bike airing it up. That is going to be Thunderstruck Steffenhagen taking that 3rd spot. All right. Flip the sheet here. All right, here we go. That's your 5 bike. That is going to be Angie Henry. Getting her done out front for Dynasty. Got Mellinson, the Mad Cat, and the Queen of Hearts coming on around at you. Queen of Hearts had a crash here in qualifying. She's kind of taking it easy, but as it comes on around, it's going to be Henry, followed by your 69 of Mellinson and the Mad Cat. 7-8 open on the track here, folks. Moto number 8, we got El Papi, No Boo, Peterson, and Toledo. No Boo just moved up to expert last week, getting it done for Fusion Racing. Right now in the front, that is none other than El Papi, your Black Widow Ripper, getting it done in the 1 spot. So right now we got El Papi sitting 1, No Boo sitting in that 2 spot, and Peterson sitting in the 3. All right, there we go. It's going to go Ortiz, Elvin, and Peterson. Also, listen up. The stickers for the 12 Days of Christmas, they're on the cart with Miss Alyssa over by the rental cage, if you will. All right, here we go. That's your 9 bike, followed by your State 7. That is going to be Mullins and the Slingshot Stopka sitting 1 and 2. We got Blessy in the 3, the Smoke, and Caleb Bubba Farley coming on at you. As they come on around, it's going to be Mullins, Stopka, Blessy, rounding out your podium. Main events here, folks, at Rum River, 13-14 open. This is moto number 10. We got Swanson, Brotzel, Molitor, Manuel, and Anderson. That is Swanson out front, Brotzel in the 2, and the little man Molitor coming on at you in that 3. All right, here we go. That is going to be your Dynasty rider Swanson taking that 1. You got Papa Smurf in the 2, and the little man taking that 3. All right, we are going to jump ahead to Moto 12 because the Queen of Hearts just came off the track on her open. So we're going to jump up to Moto 12. This is your 3640 women's cruiser. All right, here we go. We got Kim Possible Farley, your Factory Carbone Cartel. Looks like she's got a good snap. She's out front right now, getting it done on that Nat 99, that black plate. If you see a black plate, that means they're a nationally ranked rider. So right now that is going to be Kim Possible, followed by the number 1 of Brianne Ingberg. That's your BMX banner rider sitting in that 3. That is going to be Blessy, I believe. The Red Thunder. That's a pretty good name. Got the Red Thunder, followed by the Chatty Cathy. But taking that win, that's going to be Kim Possible, followed by Ingberg. That 3 is going to go to Blessy. All right, jumping back now, 13-14 girl cruiser here, folks. We got the Queen of Hearts. We got Ducky and Biggie. So that's Aria, Queen of Hearts. She went down qualifying. She's back up, and she's shredding. She's sitting in that 1 right now. Woo, getting inside. These guys are going to be all tied up. We're going to have to do a little bit of math. Right now it is the Queen of Hearts, followed by Chamberlain and Farley. Let's see if Arya can make it stick. Oh, we got a pass there. That is going to be Chamberlain. So Chamberlain will take the win. The Queen of Hearts will take the 2, and Farley will take that 3. All right. Woo! All right, here we go. We got Young Gentlemen Cruisers. This is your 9 cruisers. We got Escalona, Peterson, Ray, Colkay, Ingberg, and Mellinson. As they come on back at us, that is going to be Peterson in the 1. That's going to go Peterson, Escalona, and Colkay. There we go. 10 cruisers here, folks. Coming on at you. All right, that is going to be none other than your 6. That's your Nag 5, right? Yes, it is. That is Vanderhayden sitting in that 1. He's got Zink and Bauman sitting 2 and 3. And as they come on back at us, that is going to go Vanderhayden. And your 6 bike is Zink. Airing it up, that's the Apex. All right. Another little air show. We got your 1 and your 6. Your 1 and your 6 coming on at you. That is going to be locking in. So locking in, even though these guys are all tied up, if locking in can make it stick, he'll get the win. That is going to be locking in with the win. Bowman with the 2. And the T-Train Hoff, your Black Widow rider, with the 3. All right, Moto 16 here, folks. 3640 Cruiser. We got Atomic Adam Kennedy getting her done on that beautiful Senate bike for FXR Dan's Comp. That's going to be Kennedy in the 1. He's got that Fusion rider Norberg in the 2. We got Steffenhagen and Mick Vicker. They've been battling it out all day for that 3 and 4. Looks like it's going to be Mick Vicker inside while Kennedy takes the win. Norberg with the 2. And who's it going to be, folks? Rounding out your podium is going to be Steffenhagen. All right, all right. That'll do it for big bike racing. We're moving on into little kid racing. We got 5 and under novice here, folks. Whoa, we got 1 down in the first straight. Going to get that little ripper checked out. We got Rodell, Locken, Reichel, Mogensen, Johnson, and the Tank Kriegler. All right. Going to get that little rider checked out. Right now in that 1 spot, that's your 236, followed by your 078. So that is going to be Rodell, followed by Waylon Locken in that 2 spot. Who's going to get that 3 up on that podium here today as they come on around at us? Looks like Rodell. Locken's going to give a little chase here, but that's going to go Rodell, Locken. And your 309. Your 309, that's going to be Mogensen taking that 3rd spot on the podium. All right. Let's cheer Thatcher Johnson on. Little Thatcher Johnson went down hard in the first straight. Those are tears of joy. Do not be fooled. Those are tears of joy as Johnson comes on around. Loves the sport of BMX racing. All right. Here comes your 6 novice here, folks. Moto 18. We got Trejo, Schlitgen, Prince, and Beard. All right. Antonio Trejo has been getting it done out front all day for Dynasty BMX. Let's see if Antonio can make it happen again here today in the main event. And that is your Gold Cup 2. But we got a big move on the inside by your 786. That's Schlitgen getting it done for Bent Rim. Who's it going to be here, folks? Right now we got Schlitgen, Trejo sitting 1 and 2, followed by Prince and Beard. See if we can get some moving and grooving in this last straightaway. Right now that's Schlitgen, followed by Trejo. Oh! Got Schlitgen and Trejo, followed by your 32. That's Beard. All right, that was a little sketchy. We're going to let that go. We're in novices. All right now we got your State 6 bike. State 6, but that is, yes, it is Cariana, the Ferrari. Here comes the Ferrari Saxburg. Getting it done for Mom, Dad, and Grandma. This is the Ferrari out front. You can see why she got that name. Ferrari's coming on around. She's going to get that win. Got your 341. That's going to be Gabe Shore with the 2, and your 854 of the X-Man Leaf taking your 3. All right, 10 Navis on the track. Ember the Wrecker McDonough, 1 to beat here today for the whole fam Danley. The whole fan Damley. All right, that is the Wrecker. We got Ellis, Perdota, Bolton, Shives, and Record right now. That is your 804. Oh, but we had a big move on the inside. The Wrecker got wrecked. I believe that was Keegan Ellis. I'm going to get a plate number coming on around at us. All right, that is your 238 of Ellis. We got the 804 and your 33, so it's going to go Ellis, the Wrecker, and Prindota. $11 novice here on the track, folks. 10, excuse me. Yeah, 11 novice, right? Yeah, we got your 864. That is the Charger sitting in the 1, and your 203 in the 2. All right now that is going to be the Charger coming on around. Wants that top podium spot today. All right, that is going to be the Charger coming on at you out of Elk River, taking your win. That second today is going to go to your 203. That's going to be Xavier. All right, 416, 416 out front right now. In your 12 novice. We need Hunter for 13 novice. All right. That's going to go both. Mason Wolf taking that win in 12 novice. 13 novice, we got Olson, Evans, Emily, and Bolton. That's going to be your 530 and your 767. That's Zach Olson, your Dynasty rider out of St. Francis, followed by Kimber Evans, sitting 1-2, who's got on that 3 spot as they come on around at us. Your 530, followed by your 767, airing it up. Like to see that. And your 527 of Rowdy Ricky. 14 novice. Yeah, here we go. 14 novice. Got your 382 and your 880 sitting 1 and 2. That's going to be Erickson and Stefan sitting 1 and 2. Got Memphis Shore sitting in that 3 as they come on around at us. Getting her done out here today at Rum River BMX. So we're going to go Erickson, your 880 and your 975. So that's going to be Stephens and Memphis. All right. Getting into these older novices. Right now we got your 838 out front in your 2635 novices. Moto 25. That is the Sneak Attack Elston. He snuck attack him right out of the gate with a nice healthy lead. So that's going to be Sneak Attack getting your win, airing it up. Followed by your State 8 and your 899. So that's going to be Wolverton and Zandalf. Xander Zandalf Leaf Sr. 3640 novice here, folks. We've got Fast Gramps. We got Olson and Lee. Matthew Olson's sitting on a pair of aces. Woo! Airing it up. Going to do it again here, 793. Coming at you out of St. Francis. Looks like Olson, if he can stay upright, is going to get that win. Got Fast Gramps in the 2. And we're going to go Olson, Zamore, and Lee. All right, 500 intermediates, folks. We got Peterson, Simmons, and Freetag. Ooh, this is going to be a battle here, folks. Simmons has a couple aces, but Freetag's got the inside with a nice move in the first turn. Who's going to come out of this second straight and second turn? Freetag still got the inside, working the lane. Simmons wants to come and give him a pass. See if she can set it up here, folks. These are smart little 500 novices. I'm going to tell you right now, Freetag staying inside, keeping it tight as they come on back at us. Freetag will cross first, but get the second. Freetag will get the second. Freetag will get the second. Willow gets the first. Willow has the first based on total points. So we go Willow, Freetag, Peterson. 6 eyes on the track. Got Carnahan, McGowan, Rodell, Shives, and Mogensen. All right, who we got here today, folks? That's your 748 getting that win, followed by your State 10 and your 921. That's Mogensen. All right. 8 eyes on the track here, folks. We got Ford, Kenoyer, Shives, Moss, McGowan, Barthel, Bowman, and Beard. 8 intermediates, Moto 29. Your 170 bike got a big move by the 254 inside. That's going to be McGowan moving all the way up into that 2 spot. We got Ford in the 1. All right, we're going to go half off hot food. So right now we got your 174, 254, and your 747 of James taking that 3. All right, half off hot food here, folks, at concessions. Check it out. 9 eyes on the track here, folks. That's going to be your 496 and your State 10 bike. That is going to be Mr. E. Acapina sitting in that 1. Got Peyton and Joey giving chase. Acapina sitting on a pair of aces, wants to make it the perfect day. It looks like that is going to be your Dingman's rider, followed by your State 10 and your 197 of Wolverton. 12 eyes on the track here right now. That is none other than Dylan the Dilly Bar getting it done out front. Looking good out front. We got Patnode, Steffenhagen, Moss, Emily, and Oberg battling out for those other spots. So that is going to go the Dilly Bar with the 1. You got your 69 and your 52. So that'll be Patnode and Steffenhagen. 13 eyes here on the track, folks. We got the Mad Cat, we got the Bolt, and we got Clage Cook. That is 87 right now. That is Cook, up and coming shredder in this 13-year-old class. So right now we got Cook sitting 1. That is going to be none other than your Crank Lab rider of Moss in the 2. Woo! All right, we're going to go Cook, Moss, and the Mad Cat. 36-40 eyes here, folks. We got Wright, Norberg, Mellinson, and Austin. That's going to be your Chicago shredder coming on up out of Chicago for Dirt Addiction. That's going to be Christopher Wright getting her done. You got Norberg in that 2 for Fusion. Mellinson, your Pack BMX riders in that 3. Keegan Austin in that 4. So we're going to go Wright, Norberg, Mellinson. That's going to do it. We're moving into Moto 34 here, folks. Last intermediate class, we got Gelberg, McVicker, and Oberg. All right, here we go on that pretty riff bug. That is going to be Oberg getting her done out in front. If he can stay upright, he's going to get the win. He's got that Bandits rider in the 2, Krabby Bill. Krabby Bill Gelberg in that 2. So we're going to go Oberg, Gelberg, and McVicker. All right, here we go. Girls experts, folks. 8 girls experts. We have got Chamberlain, Orn, and Farley. Your factory full tilt rider, Skylar Orn. She's been out front all day. She likes to stay there. She's on that Nat 37, National 37 bike. Sitting out front right now. That is none other than Skylar Orn. She's got Lila Biggie Chamberlain sitting in that 2 spot, and Ducky Farley racing up with the older girls. She's going to get that 3. 11 girls experts. We got Ray, Ford, Brotzel, and Reichel. That is going to be 47 bike. That's none other than Annalise Ray getting it done for Level Up. She's got that Fusion rider in the 2 and 3. Got Ford and Brotzel, 2 and 3. Reichel sitting in that 4. Another Fusion rider. Dang, got a Fusion pack here. So we're going to go Ray, your 851, and your Gold Cup 2. So that's going to be Ray, Ford, and Brotzel. All right, 13 girl experts. That is none other than Lil JT Tollefson getting it done for Factory Box Components. Sitting out in that 1 spot. We got Tollefson in the 1. We got Lil Red McCauley in the 2. Vanderhayden sitting 4 right now. Lanigan in the 3. So we're going to go on that podium. We're going to go Lil JT, Little Red, and Avery Lanigan. 15-16 girls, we got Elin, Henry, Wolf, and Nealon. Inside move right there, that's none other than Chaotic Kendall Elin, your Ameriprise full tilt shredder on that National 32 bike. She's got Henry, Wolf, and Nealon giving chase. So as they come on back at us, it's going to go oh, there we go. Elin, Henry, Wolf, Nealon. 17-20 women's expert. Excuse me. We got Bolin, Leach, Colby, and Farley right now. That is how they're sitting right now, too. That is none other than Maddie Shiner Bolin, your Black Widow Ripper, followed by Chloe Leach, Haley the Hoff, and Kim Possible. That's going to be Bolin, Leach, and Colby taking your podiums. All right. Here we go, 7Xs. We got Simmons, Mellinson, Toledo, and Peterson coming on at us on that pretty Gold Cup 1. That is Jack Simmons for Embrace Orthodontist. He's got Mellinson, Toledo, and Peterson giving chase as they come on back. Looks like with a nice win today, that is going to be Simmons. Got that 24 bike and your 686. So that is going to be Mellinson and Toledo rounding out your podium. 9Xs here, folks. This is going to be a good one. Airing it up, that's your 20 bike, followed by your 9. That is going to be Style Check Peterson in that 1. He's got Hunter Mullins sitting in that 2. This is always a good battle here, this 9X class. Oh, we're going to go in the 2. We're going to move in that 7 bike. That 7 bike, that's going to be Escalona taking the 2. Mullins moving into that 3. 10X's here. We got the Wildman, the Savage, Zinc, Apex, and Siegfried. Excuse me, that is going to be none other than your NAG 18 bike. That is the Wildman, Vanderhayden. So as they come on at us, that's going to be Vanderhayden taking the win, followed by your 12 and your NAG 19. So that's going to be Zinc with the 2, the Savage with the 3. Got a rider down in the first turn. We're going to check that rider out. Remember, if you want to get your 12 Days of Christmas stuff, token, I guess it is, see Miss Chartrand there over by the rental cage. Got that first day of the 12 Days of Christmas token. If you did do the team scramble, please make sure you get your sheets scored and in right away so we can do that podium. We'll do that podium while our volunteers are cleaning up for tomorrow's Fire and Ice race. Tomorrow is Fire and Ice racing, and it is also the Money Opens. All right, let's hear it for this rider. All right, that is 66. Let's hear it. All right. Moving on into moto number 43 here, folks. Just got a few left here tonight at Rum River BMX. This will be your 12 experts. We got Hertz, Hoff, Simmons, Anderson, and Manuel. All right, gate drops. This is going to be a good one. We got a battle here. Looks like that is Corbin Hertz with the hole shot, the big snap. This kid's getting faster and faster on that State 3 bike. That is Hertz, your FXR Dance Comp rider, getting her done. He's got that 3 bike in the 2. That's going to be the T-Train Tate Hoff in that 2. We got Simmons, Anderson, and Manuel battling it out for that 3 spot. So as they come on at us, it's going to go Hertz, Hoff, and your 18 bike, that is going to be Henry Simmons taking that 3. All right, 13X's here, folks. We got Tyson, Bushy, Molitor, Swanson, Manuel, and Etner airing it up. That's none other than the high-flying Tyson, followed by your 8 bike. That's Preston Swanson getting her done, followed by the little man Molitor sitting 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to go Tyson, Swanson, and Molitor. 15X's here, folks. We got the other Tyson, other half of the Flying Tyson brothers. We got Lucas Tyson, Cam Nato Ford, Bowman, and Lockinen. Airing it up, that is Tyson. He's got Cam Nato Ford sitting in that 2 spot, followed by Bowman and Lockinen. Looking like they're twins out there all blacked out as they come on at us. We're going to go Tyson Ford, who's going to have that 3. Today, that's going to be your 4 bike. That has been Lockinen, Crank Lab rider. All right, here we go. Last moto here today, folks. This is 1720X. We got Kennedy, and Kennedy's out front, getting her done, looking pretty. Got that Taya Boker. You got your girl rider sliding up here with the boys. So Taya Boker sitting in that 2 for Factory S Square, but right now it's going to be your FXR Dance Comp rider taking that win, followed by Miller with the 3. We'll go Kennedy, Boker, Miller, Bratzel. All right. That will do it for racing here today at Rum River BMX. We're glad you could join us. We are going to score up these team sheets, this team scramble. We'll be back at you here in a little bit with the podium. Please do us a favor and help pick up as you leave. We are all volunteers here.